Wrestling is a lot like my hairline. It changes. Sadly, for my own predicament, we are done and dusted with that, but when it comes to sports entertainment, you just never know. This has most definitely been the case in AEW recently because a brand new, seemingly major faction turned up, and then they didn't really do much of anything and kind of fluttered away. Now, this confused us all, but as it turned out, a major All Elite Wrestling storyline may have just been scrapped. Why? Here's why. It all starts with the wonderful Stokely Hathaway and the equally wonderful Renee Paquette when Stokely was talking to Renee on her podcast and wanted to get into the firm. As we know, during the build-out to All Out 2022, Stokes did go around and he recruited William Morrissey, Lee Moriarty, the Gun Club, as well as Ethan Page, when all of a sudden it seemed like they'd hitched their wagon to the one and only MJF, who did come back in that ladder match and used the firm in order to get that massive Sonic ring. Now, if we hadn't had the reveal of Maxwell Jacob Friedman at the end of that show, it would have been a little bit pants, but that's like saying this Batman game wouldn't be any good if Batman wasn't in it. He's flipping in it. Having some bodies around Maxwell also made sense too, because when you do have your heavies, you can just go out there and create a bunch of chaos. At this junction too, it was meant to be MJF versus CM Punk, so all of a sudden you could go, oh no, Punk's in trouble, because now a bunch of dudes want to beat him up. And then just stopped. Almost instantly, the firm turned their attentions to Friedman and started beating him up. And after Maxwell had defeated John Moxley for the world title and he addressed this, he was all like, well, you know what? I would have done the same thing too, and I can't be bothered to go after them because that creates a lot of effort. And my eyebrow went up because I was like, well, what was the point of any of that then? As it turns out though, what was meant to happen may have been scrapped because of course, dun dun dun, CM Punk ain't here anymore. If we do go back to that pay-per-view and Punk's championship win, as we've already discussed, the direction seemed very simple. We take the firm, we take MJF, and I suppose that Punk would have to make way through all of these guys until he got to his prize at the end. Now that's nothing new, but would it have been interesting? I think it would have been alright. However, given the fact that Punk did get injured and the fact we don't even know if he's ever coming back to the company or not, well, I think everyone just stood there and did the shrug emoji. Sometimes that's just what you need to do. But going back to Hathaway, he alluded about all of this on that podcast because he said these words. Everything that was supposed to happen with the firm did not happen. What happened immediately after All Out was a huge part of it. Who we were supposed to directly feud with is no longer with the company, and you know who that is. That was one thing that I was looking forward to because I was hand-chosen for that role. So I'm just going to say it, I don't know the specifics. For me, the fact that CM Punk said, hi, I want to work with this guy, that holds a lot of weight. It means a lot regardless of what has happened, what will happen, and what won't happen anymore. It was literally rewriting everything on the fly, so everyone in the group is trying to do their best, but we are trying to figure out how to make this work because the original purpose isn't the purpose anymore, so it's like, what do you do? Shrug emoji. Also, my word, there's a lot to unpack there. Firstly, it does explain why all of a sudden they were on the other side of the fence. I imagine Tony Khan was just sat backstage going, I don't know, what the flub are we supposed to do now? And let's not skip over the fact that yes, CM Punk apparently outwardly said that he wanted to work with this lot. Regardless of your thoughts, he is a super duper star, and if he could have tangled with Moriarty and Morrissey and Ethan Page and the Gun Club, that is only going to help those guys, even if it's just by association. Stokely also did seem to insinuate that Punk is gone for good, but you never say never in professional wrestling, but there you go. Now you can calm your boots, we can all just relax a little bit. The reason the firm didn't ever do much of anything is because their storyline was killed. It won't be the first time this has happened, and it definitely won't be the last time. Do you remember when WWE spent quite literally months building that Emma was going to be Emelina, and then she walked out and went, nah, I don't want to do it, and then she went back to being Emma again. Daniel Bryan was also going to be the guy who got destroyed by Brock Lesnar before he got injured, so John Cena was brought into that role instead. And it has been over 20 years since the King of the Ring 1999, and I still don't know who made that briefcase rise when Stone Cold Steve Austin went to get it. I mean, it honestly costs me sleep. So wrestling is basically nonsense, but at least when we do hear these backstage tidbits, we can start to put things together again. And it wouldn't surprise me in a few weeks if all of a sudden the firm and MJF are buddy-buddy again, and we just get back on track. It is a huge shame though, because it left 6 guys who have such an upside to them, especially William Morrissey. I mean, have you seen that dude? He quite literally goes up and up and up. You'd also have to figure this meant we were going to have CM Punk versus Ethan Page at one stage, and that makes me feel really sad because I tell you this, Ethan Page is just waiting to break out. He just needs the right feud. Damn it, it was probably going to be that, which is also likely why he was featured so heavily in the Eliminator tournament, and while it was the same with the Dynamite Battle Royal. I mean, it would have been the icing on the cake, but instead we stole that icing. We said no cake for you. But I think this is something we could all learn from. When you are watching any television show and you're like, man, this is just confusing me, maybe just take a second and go, but wait a second, maybe something is going on backstage. Because it is pro wrestling, and 9 times out of 10, something's going on backstage. As we are here too, yes, let's ask the question, and make sure you tell us in the comments too, does CM Punk come back to AEW? There's no way we can possibly tell right now. Or do we get the unthinkable, and we get to 2023, and he pops up in WWE? And that even rhymes. I mean, in the year that Vince McMahon retired, I don't think you can make any assumptions. But I do believe the next 6 months are going to be a crazy, crazy ride. And as always, I'm just going to do that thing that I do. I just hope everybody is happy, and I hope everybody is healthy, and I hope everybody is in a good place in their life. Because they're just wrestlers, they're just humans, and that's the only thing that matters. It also does have me asking, though, is this why William Regal was put into the storyline? Because actually, when all was said and done, I thought that was very effective in re-establishing MJF as a heel. But if we weren't going to do that, what the hell, well, my type got a keyboard here, but what the hell would Regal have done anyway? And now apparently Regal is going back to WWE. So what did I just say? You see, every single day in wrestling is just story. So just enjoy it and, be on board for this wild ride. And let's see where we end up. But everybody needs to stop moaning on Twitter. All right, we've done that, move aside. Also, again, please do leave a comment below and let us know what you think about all of this. What do you think is going to happen with MJF? What do you think is going to happen with Firm? What do you think is going to happen with CM Punk? And what do you think is going to happen with William Regal? Then like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Hello to WhatCulture.com, where you can read some articles. Make sure you come follow us on social media at WhatCulture, WWE, and Simon Meta 316. There's a lot of videos out there right now, desperate to be watched. Please give them a home. My name is Simon What Culture. Thank you very much for watching me as always, and listening as always, and just engaging and being part of this fun. Remember, speculation is okay as long as it's not hurting anyone. See you soon.